Hey, what's going on, guys? Well, got a project I got to work on. As you may well know, I actually did a lift kit on this truck, and I called the company I got the lift kit from, and they told me that everything I did was the right way of doing it. But apparently, this is rather rare for it to happen. But my upper control arm, the one they sent me for this kit, isn't long enough. Strange as it is, they can't get an alignment done on it because of that. Because the camber's, it's in too far. It needs to come out, and my camber bolts are maxed. So I've got one of three options. First option is I take and I cut these brackets off, put a 1-inch plate behind it, and re-weld them back on both sides and the passenger side. Option 2, I cut this off to hold my ball joint in place, make a new one that fits in this, and make it to where it's an inch longer, and put my ball joint back in after re-welding it onto here. That could be complicated. The option that I'm going for is right here. I have about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches on this side, and maybe 2.5, almost 3 on that side. These are hollow. They're just steel. What I'm planning to do is I plan to cut it here, cut it over here, and give me a steel rod, which I have some, but I'm not sure if it's the right size. Stick it inside there, buy a sleeve that fits over that rod that'll fit in here, and weld everything back to where it's nice and solid. He said that if I pull it out 5/8 of an inch, that it would be plenty. It would bring it back to the 2 degrees, and it needs to come back in order for it to be right. What I plan to do anyways is, he said 5/8 is plenty to bring it back, but I actually want it to be able to be adjusted still. So I'm going to bring it out 3/4 of an inch and we weld it back together. Now I'm not sure how well this is going to work. Obviously that will be the weakest point, but being that the steel rod is going to be 2 inches long and it's going to be stuffed on either side and into that, and the actual gap itself is only going to be about 3/4 of an inch, I really don't think it's going to go anywhere. Once I weld the pin in there, and then weld the sleeve shut around there, and then weld the gap on the other side of the sleeve, it won't even be able to tell it's been done. But that's my new project I'm going to have to start. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure when I'm going to tackle it. I'd like to get it done this weekend, but the wife's got to work, so I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. He told me I can and the more expensive options are either get a newer upper control arm that's longer, or a shorter lower control arm. But the other options will work. I just need to bring it out far enough to where it can be set right. Because right now, it hasn't done it yet because he's still new. But it's eventually going to start tearing up my tires, and I don't need none of that. Plus, it puts a lot of strain on that front end. When I first had it lined, the toe was fine on it, but since the camber wasn't completely right, the toe has gone bad. Actually, the passenger side's worse, to the point where my steering wheel is actually turned. So it's time to do something about this. There's nothing that the company I bought the lift kit through can do anything about it. There's nothing they can do about it because they've never ran into this problem before, and they're not sure why I'm having the issue now. The lift kit that I bought was specifically designed around a 31-1050, which is exactly what's on my truck now, is a 31-1050. I mean, that's the way. That's the reason it was designed. It was designed directly around that size of tire. So nothing I did caused it. I just got to lengthen the upper control arms to pull that front end out. But that's the project, and I hope to get this on video and get it done soon. You know, once I cut them control arms, though, there is absolutely no turning back. That's pretty much it. You know, if something doesn't go right, then it'll be time to buy new control arms for it. But yep, check back soon to see if I've got it done or got a video out for it.